Good morning, Lakeland, and all who inhabit it. It's another fun episode of the I have no idea what I'm doing hour. Isn't that funny, Kathy?
No, it's not funny. You know exactly what we're doing because we just spent 10 minutes talking about it.
that is true, but I still call my show the I have no idea what I'm doing hour, and now I got to figure out why I have no. Oh, hold on one second. There we go. I was trying to figure out why I had no sound in my headphones. Well, now I know why. But good. First of all, good morning, Kathy. We have Kathy. It's
Bevan.
Bevan. It's not Bev. I've been calling you Bevan for weeks now in the preparation up to this, but
That's okay.
it's
Some
Bevan.
of the older crowd have heard of Alex Bevan.
Yes.
Alex Bevan is a cousin relative. So the family goes by Bevan or Bevan, but we go by Bevan. So
Okay.
Bevan works, or Kathy. Perfect.
So Kathy's from the Lake County General Health District. I actually got it right the first time, which sometimes I completely flub where they're from. We had people last week or a couple weeks ago from the Geauga Park District, and I said Geauga. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say Geauga. So I'm going to start out by asking you, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, presently I'm a health educator at the Lake County General Health District. I have been working in the community for tobacco education and prevention and have been working with a number of different businesses, organizations, metro parks to implement, adopt 100% smoke-free environments. We all know right now that we have the Ohio smoke-free workplace law, which means you can't smoke anywhere inside.
Right.
But what we're trying to show is that the exposure outside is just as detrimental to your health as it is inside. If you can smell it, and it's detrimental, it can harm you because we know that secondhand smoke exposure kills over 50,000 people in the U.S. alone right now. So what we're doing is by creating 100% tobacco-free environments, we're protecting those who don't smoke. But we're not telling smokers you can't smoke. We just want to make sure that we're protecting those who are not smokers.
Before we got started today, you were telling me a little bit about a survey that you recently did here at Lakeland. That was November?
In November 17th. It was actually during the Great American Smokeout.
Okay. And I see you brought me a sheet of paper with some of the results on it. And I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit from here.
Absolutely.
And then if you have any comments, feel free to chime in as I read them. It says that you did 372 surveys with 179 males, 188 females, and 5 who prefer not to answer. Of those, there were 132 full-time, 161 part-time, 32 full-time, those were students, 32 full-time staff, 10 part-time staff, 16 full-time faculty, and 21 part-time faculty. And if you give me 1 second, I'm just going to shut the door.
And that is correct. And what we found is the majority of the part-time students that we were surveying were actually, many of them were coming from the high schools, coming here for college credits. Correct. So many of them were 15, 16, 17. So this is a group that is not even legally allowed to purchase tobacco products at this time.
Correct. And so looking at your survey here, you had 66 male full-time students. You had 62 female full-time students taking this, 83 part-time male, 77 part-time female. I'm tripping over my words. But anyway, so going on here, it looks like you guys had you guys took account of who's a smoker, who's not a smoker. Can you tell me a little bit about what that was all about exactly? It says here in the middle, it says no response, smokers,
former smokers and non-smokers. When we conduct surveys, especially dealing with tobacco policy and how we should be implementing them, some of the more important survey data comes from smokers because we want to know where they stand on certain issues.
Okay.
Most importantly, do they support certain policies? Because this is some of the data that we take to our government institutions, to our politicians, and say, you know what? Smokers even support the fact that certain areas should be smoke-free environments. So this is just looking at, when we're breaking down our demographics, whether it's male, female, race, age, where they live, what is their status, their educational status. So this is just your basic demographic information. But what's really important is that when we do an analysis of the survey data, we like to see sometimes, is it a fact that smokers are completely against tobacco policies
Mm-hmm.
that prohibit where they can smoke? Or are they actually somewhat in agreement that some areas should be smoke-free environments, such as areas like playgrounds or parks where young children may play? Because the one thing we do want to remember is that our youth model the behaviors
Mm-hmm.
of adults. So when we see something, we accept that as part of the norm of society. And that's what we want to get away from. We want to see students to be able to, for them to go into a playground and play, but not see their parents or older adults smoking because they think that is the norm. We want to start moving away from that norm to know that tobacco is the number one killer globally.
There was something you said to me earlier because you brought up the playgrounds, you brought up teenagers and kids. Something you said to me earlier would shock some people, but unfortunately, I've heard the same thing that you told me, which was kids usually have their first cigarette, smoke, whatever, 13, 14, 15.
Correct. The first time a child is exposed and actually uses a tobacco product right now in Lake County is between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. One of the other issues I do want to bring up is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times they're sneaking them from their parents,
Mm-hmm.
or they're actually getting them from their friends who might be getting them from an older sibling who might be 18, which we know right now in most of the state of Ohio, 18 is the legal age to purchase tobacco products. One
Mm-hmm.
of the other policy changes that we are looking to try and implement statewide, which would be absolutely fabulous, would be Tobacco 21, which we all know that Cleveland City has adopted Tobacco 21 laws
Mm-hmm.
because we know without a doubt the studies are out there that show that if you do not start smoking before the age of 21, your risk of ever starting to smoke greatly decreases to about 2%. So we want to hit that target of 21 because we know maturing brain when you're young at 13, 14, and 15, it is actually the nicotine that is addictive. That's why the e-cigarettes were so damaging to the youth because they were using e-cigarettes thinking nothing of it. Well, I'm not smoking a cigarette. But what they did not realize is that the nicotine in the e-liquid was actually what they were becoming addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
So as we move on over the next decade, we might see that many students were starting to smoke e-cigarettes and gradually moved into cigarettes and other tobacco products.
So going into what people on the survey said were problems here at Lakeland, I see you have entrances and exits outside on campus events, and parties/hangouts. Which my personal guess would be that the entrances and exits would be the number one problem.
Absolutely. And that's definitely what we found out is the entrances and exits, 35% of those of you who took the survey felt that it was a minor problem, and 26% thought that it was a serious problem, moving into 14% who thought it was a severe problem, specifically around entrances and exits. Now we look outside on campus, just the campus grounds itself, and 36% of those who were surveyed, and that's including smokers and non-smokers alike, but they did feel that it was a minor problem, and 22% thought that it was a serious problem. So smoking exposure, which we like to look at the secondhand smoke exposure, is a real issue outside in the environment. Because when you have to walk through someone's puff of smoke, you're being exposed to those toxic chemicals. And what many of you do not realize, yes, if you are over the age of 18, it is your right to smoke if you want, but it is not your right to cause harm or a health effect to someone else. And many kids, you don't realize, actually suffer from asthma attacks. And the simple breathing in of secondhand smoke can trigger an asthma attack in a child or anyone, an adult. So if they're very susceptible to that, they can have an asthma attack. So we're adversely affecting the health of those people in our community.
There was a thing that I was reading recently that I think it was Cleveland State Was it Cleveland State? I think it was Cleveland State passed a 100% smoke-free campus enactment thing. I don't.
Correct. It was Cleveland State.
Okay.
They have passed 100% tobacco-free environment. Not only Cleveland State, but the Ohio University. And I'm very proud to announce that Kent State University on July 1st will be going 100% smoke-free campus. So one of the things we'd like to say is many of your students who are here for about a two-year time period are going to be moving on to four-year colleges. Many of these four-year colleges are 100% smoke-free environments. You cannot smoke in the dorms. You can't even smoke outside of the dorms. The entire campus is smoke-free. So what we like to emphasize is that we need to follow suit here at Lakeland Community College and adopt a 100% smoke-free environment, because then we are setting these children or these young adults up that when they go on to college, they're not going to be faced with the problem of, oh my goodness, I'm a smoker. What do I do now?
Right.
And not only that, but for those students who decide not to go into a four-year college, but go on to work in a business, whether it's LPN, RN, dental hygienist, and other medical profession, you're going to be going into a business that will not even hire you if you use tobacco products. And that's whether it's cigarettes, e-cigarettes, or chew. You will not be hired. So let's set these kids up so that they are ready for the environment they're going to be going into. Businesses, smoke-free. Colleges, smoke-free. Let's get on board and get Lakeland Community College to adopt a 100% tobacco-free environment.
There was something else on your survey that you have here. We're going to move, because I actually guessed what SHS stood for earlier, so I was very proud of myself. But it says that just the exposure rate to secondhand smoke can be a problem as well. It says people say 11% said there was never a problem, there was rarely a problem, 25%, sometimes 36%, often 19%, and always 7%. I see you reaching for the paper, so go ahead and So it looks like to me that the majority of the people who took the survey said that secondhand smoke is a problem.
I would say well over half, 60% of those who took the survey said there is a problem with secondhand smoke exposure outside near the doorways, where are non-smokers supposed to walk around a smoker, because it's not like you can have a smoking area and contain the smoke. It doesn't work. If the wind's blowing, it's going to blow into windows. It's going to blow into ventilation systems. So by saying, oh, let's do it 10 feet from the door, well, it can be all well and good, but they might be standing under an eave, over by a window. It's still getting sucked into the building through a ventilation system. The only way to actually get rid of secondhand smoke exposure is through a 100% tobacco-free environmental policy.
And looking on the back that you have here, it looks...
There was one of the areas that we did look at was policy compliance and policy enforcement.
Okay.
There was actually a lot of people who didn't even know there was a policy in place, what the smoking policies were. So we had asked a question, do you know what the policy is for Lakeland Community College? Many people had no clue, so that actually ended the survey. For those who said, yes, there is a policy, they would actually go on to complete 2 more questions, which was the policy compliance for smoke-free, and do you think that compliance was mostly enforced or somewhat enforced? So all in all, most people think it's somewhat enforced. Obviously, there's no smoking inside the building. With the new policy that says 10 feet, they're like, yeah, I guess the policy, if you're just looking at the policy itself, it is somewhat enforced, but in certain areas of the campus, not all areas of the campus are being monitored. So I think that created some discrepancies about policy compliance and policy enforcement.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here, livestream.com/Lake Effect for Second Floor Breakers with the Lake County General Health District. Back momentarily.
Casino Night, sponsored by Lakeland Student Government. Friday, April 28th, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on first floor Breakers. This event is free and open to all Lakeland students and staff. Play assortments of casino games, dancing to a fun DJ, use a photo booth, win prizes, enjoy some free snacks.
Thinking of getting engaged? Tired of mall shopping where all the jewelry looks alike? Cameo Jewelers is the store to shop for beautiful, unique diamond engagement rings, silver fashion, and Disney jewelry. Why shop online when you can get the same pricing and better quality at Cameo Jewelers?
2 store locations, Menor and Chardon. Menor store liquidation, 50% off Pandora.
Remember the 5 C's when buying a diamond. Cut, clarity, color, carats, and Cameo.
Bring in your Lakeland ID for a special discount. Check out our website, CameoJewelers.com. Facebook and Twitter.
Here at Lux, we focus solely on hookah. We have an extremely knowledgeable staff, and we always try to make all of our customers feel at home. This is where true hookah enthusiasts come to smoke. Our prices are reasonable, and our service is outstanding. We are a hookah lounge in the purest sense of the word. A hookah lounge designed and staffed by hookah fans for hookah fanatics. To top it off, we always go above and beyond. We are meticulous in everything that we do. We make sure that your hookah experience is of the highest possible quality. If it doesn't taste right to us, then we won't serve it to you. Majority of our customers turn into regulars and eventually friends because we pride ourselves on our product and service. It's just that simple. We want you to enjoy yourself and expect you to leave happy. If you want the best hookah experience, you come to Lux. Located at 37939 Vine Street, Willowby. We invite you to come experience the flavor and see what you've been missing. We hope to see you soon.
Be sure to watch us live on www.livestream.com/lakeeffect.
My opportunity in respiratory therapy began at Lakeland, and now I'm your respiratory therapist.
My dream career began in the Adult Accelerated Program at Lakeland. Now, I'm a financial analyst.
My career in special education started here at Lakeland, and today I counsel adults with special needs in our community.
Find your dream career. It starts at Lakeland.
Lakeland Community College.
Opportunity starts here.
Register now at lakelandcc.edu.
Is your teen either a junior or senior in high school and you are looking for an alternative to a traditional high school education? Lakeland Community College's post-secondary enrollment option program is a great way to fast-track your teen's high school diploma while they earn either college credit or a college degree. For public high school students, we offer 2 great payment packages, while homeschool students have 3 awesome payment packages. Lakeland also offers a college technical program for high school students who want to get a degree in one of Lakeland's 11 technical careers. This tech program is for students who like to go to college and is satisfied by technology. Parents can call Lakeland Community College at 440-525-7100 or go to our website at www.lakelandcc.edu and click on the admissions tab.
Are you interested in music, concerts, and talk shows, or hosting your own radio show? Lake Effect Radio is here for you. We're looking for more student members for our organization. You don't have to have experience in radio to join. Lake Effect Radio is a device organization that covers music, sports, politics, and more. Stop by Lake Effect office in S215 for more information or pick up an application outside the door.
Good morning again, everybody. Livestream.com/Lake Effect, first, second floor Breakers. Again, here with Lake County General Health District, Kathy Bevan. Got it? Not Bevan or Bevan or Bevan or. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to.
Soon to
make
change,
up
anyways, because I'm getting married in 2 months. So
oh well, congratulations!
You.
Well, you're getting married in 2 months. Hold on one second. We have a button for that.
Gotta give a plug out to Lawrence Hewitt, my fiance. So.
Very good. Hold on one second. Once more.
Thank you, Lawrence Hewitt, for saving me.
So we've been discussing smoking and the effects of smoking on campus, off campus, that sort of thing. Not only did you guys do a survey, which I put over here, so don't walk away without your paper later. You also took a community survey for Lake County, but you also said in some areas you went to jog on Ashtabula. This was during the commercial break that we were just on.
Correct.
And it looks like the most strongly agreed upon locations were the parks and the playgrounds.
Yes, they were. We actually conducted a survey over about a year's time in Lake, Geauga, and Ashtabula counties. It was a very simple one-page survey. We just asked for the community's perception on creating tobacco-free environments in certain areas. Those areas being parks, playgrounds, hiking, biking trails, outdoor sports facilities, beaches, and fairgrounds. As many of you may already know, Fairport Harbor, Huntington Beach is a smoke-free environment presently. So I have been working with the Lake Metro Parks Executive Director to move towards adding additional areas to be 100% smoke-free. But what we found out from our community survey is that smokers and non-smokers alike almost all agreed, and with a very high margin, 80% of those that we surveyed agreed that playground areas should be 100% smoke-free environments. And also we look at, for parks, it's 60%. And that was a combination of smokers and non-smokers alike. And obviously the next was 63% were outdoor sports facilities, such as not only the playgrounds, but the baseball diamonds where, you know, you're sitting in the bleachers, someone lights up a cigarette, and it's like, oh, really? You know, so what we're doing is we're trying to move towards adding additional areas that are 100% smoke-free. And I do have to give a plug out to Fairport Harbor Exempted Village Schools for adopting 100% tobacco-free, smoke-free environments on all their areas, all their campuses, all the middle school, grade school, high school, all their football diamonds. So soon to be coming out, Fairport Harbor Exempted Village has gone 100% smoke-free schools. So thank you for all the work that Dr. Paolo did with that and the Board of Health or the Board of Education. So thank you very much for adopting that policy.
So how long do you think, and this may be an interesting question, but how long would it take to implement something like that? Do you have any personal experience with that sort of thing?
Yes, I do. On average, it takes anywhere from 6 months to 18 months to truly put 100% tobacco-free policy in place. And it's usually meeting with the executive directors. It might be the board. If everyone is on board, it actually took Fairport Harbor less than 6 months. It was actually 4 months from the time I met to the time we met with the Board of Education, and they put the policy in place. And now we're actually doing the education within the schools and the community to let them know that this is a smoke-free environment. So when you get everyone who's on board and willing to say, yes, this is important to us, it can be very quick. We know that the HUD ruling just came out that states that now all HUD housing, which is the Housing and Urban Development ruling, which generally governs public housing agencies, that they now have 18 months from February to make 100% smoke-free housing, which means that you cannot no longer smoke in your housing unit if you are on public assistance. So I am presently working with both Lake and Geauga County and helping them implement that ruling. So that's very exciting, and we'll be doing that over the course of the 6 months.
Okay. So moving on to a whole different subject, you have another paper here that discusses Tobacco 21. This is the one you wanted to...
Correct.
Okay. That's good, sure.
Yes. Well,
so,
go
okay, go ahead.
Well, what I'd like to say is one of the issues that we look at when implementing policies is what's going to have the greatest return on investment.
Sure.
What is really going to change the health behaviors in our community?
Sure.
And I applaud Cleveland for implementing Tobacco 21. And I strongly suggest that if you are a city within Lake County, for a city, this is doable. And I strongly urge that if you're interested in adopting a Tobacco 21 ordinance in your city, you can contact me at the health department. And this is so important because this protects the health of our young youth and prevents them from starting to smoke. So we want to get those numbers down. Right now, our smoking rates for youth are still are way too high. They're still around 19-20%, and we still have 23% of our adults in Lake County are still smoking. Obviously higher in certain areas, but we want to drop that down immensely because we know that cardiovascular disease, strokes, cancers, they're all caused by smoking. And one interesting thing I just have to acknowledge for older gentlemen, the #1 cause of bladder cancer in males is smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So, everything can now be tied to smoking. Lung cancer, stomach cancer, pancreatic cancer, kidney cancer, bladder cancer, you name it, we can tie it now to smoking. And if you stop smoking, after 10 years, your risk of these diseases
is back to that of a non-smoker.
Greatly decreased, correct. I mean, you've still done damage, but you know what? It's not going to be reversed, but you can stop the damage that is occurring now. So, let's implement these Tobacco 21 laws. One other thing that I do want to stress also for everyone who's out there now, young and old alike, that we do have the Ohio Smoke-Free Workplace Law. And it's really important that if you feel there is a violation going on, we strongly urge you to contact the Ohio Department of Health. And there's a number, and you can actually find this almost anywhere. You can Google it, but it's 866-559-6446. And this is, you can look up the ohiosmokelaw.gov. It gives you information. So if you feel like there's a restaurant, a bar, or any business that's actually breaking this law, you can actually unanimously call it in and say, I feel like they're breaking the smoke-free workplace law, because the whole point behind the law was to protect those who are non-smokers. So, but my issue here, I think we really need to move Lakeland Community College to a smoke-free environment and follow suit with Cleveland State, with the Ohio State University, and Kent State, which will be adopting in July 1st, that Ohio, 100% smoke-free campus. So I think it's important for everyone and our students, and it just makes a good sense to do this and to create healthy behaviors within our community.
I'm reading your Tobacco 21 sheet that you handed me here a second or two ago. I'm looking at the bottom where it says the public support and precedent. Needham,
yes.
Needham, Massachusetts raised their the age sale to 21 in 2005. I'm still tripping over my words. And between 2006 and 2012, the smoking rate in high school students decreased by 50%.
That is astronomical. Truly astronomical. The studies are out there that show that by raising the rate or raising the policy or the age to purchase tobacco products to the age of 21 greatly decreases, because the fact is that many seniors who are in high school, we know they're about 18, 19 years old, they legally buy the tobacco products, whether it's cigarettes, snus, dip, whatever it is. They legally buy it, and then they give it to their younger friends, or they pass it on to their siblings. So there's the issue with that. We know that 18 and 19-year-olds are actually purchasing it for younger people.
What are some of the challenges that you encounter, like some of the resistance that you would encounter when you I like this idea, but why should we do this? Why can't we do it this way or this way? Because I'm sitting here going, I'm not a smoker. I've never been a smoker, and I don't plan on it myself. I'm going to make that clear. But what about people who want to have a choice? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? We have found choices are good. It is a legal activity to do. No different than drinking at the age of 21. But we do have laws on the book that says you cannot drink or drive, or you will be held accountable. So when you put someone else's health into risk by doing an activity, that is when we step in. I am all for limited government interference, obviously. But we know, let's take the seatbelt law. When the seatbelt law came around and says you must wear your seatbelt, how many people were like, no one's going to tell me what to do? Well, yeah, of course. But we know that seatbelts save lives. Well, no different. We know tobacco is a legal product, but we know that if you don't smoke, your chances of living longer, you're not going to have, the heart disease. You're going to be susceptible to strokes and cancer. So the thing is that most people think they're invincible, especially at a young age. I'm invincible. Yes. I am, I can quit anytime. That's one of my favorite lines. 13, 14, 15-year-olds telling me I can quit when I want to. Well, then I hear 21, 22, 23-year-olds saying I can quit when I want to. And it's not the case. It actually takes less than one pack of cigarettes to get a young youth addicted to nicotine, believe
Mhm.
it or not. So, and we look at the problems working with older adults right now who wish they never started
Mhm.
because it takes at least 9 to 11 quit attempts to stop smoking in older people.
I think we're going to go ahead and take another break real quick. And then we'll be right back again. Livestream.com/Lake Effect for second floor breakers. And before, I have to plug our event downstairs real quick. Go downstairs, check out Cleveland Gary Lee. He's down there. Chris Black will be playing music downstairs as well in about, I think, a half hour or so. So quick plug for that. Tune in for that. But also tune in for the end of our interview here with Kathy. Of course, livestream.com/Lake Effect. Back in a second.
Thinking of getting engaged? Tired of mall shopping where all the jewelry looks alike? Cameo Jewelers is the store to shop for beautiful, unique diamond engagement rings, silver fashion, and Disney jewelry. Why shop online when you can get the same pricing and better quality at Cameo Jewelers?
2 store locations, Menor and Chardon. Menor store liquidation, 50% off Pandora.
Remember the 5 C's when buying a diamond. Cut, clarity, color, carats, and Cameo.
Bring in your Lakeland ID for a special discount. Check out our website, CameoJewelers.com, Facebook and Twitter.
Here at Lux, we focus solely on hookah. We have an extremely knowledgeable staff, and we always try to make all of our customers feel at home. This is where true hookah enthusiasts come to smoke. Our prices are reasonable, and our service is outstanding. We are a hookah lounge in the purest sense of the word. A hookah lounge designed and staffed by hookah fans for hookah fanatics. To top it off, we always go above and beyond. We are meticulous in everything that we do, from the hookah we use to the hoses we provide to the way we pack our bowls. We make sure that your hookah experience is of the highest possible quality. Our hookahs are cleaned after each use. When they begin to deteriorate, we replace them. Our hoses are replaced every 3 months, and our flavors are always fresh. If it doesn't taste right to us, then we won't serve it to you. We only use the finest Exotica hookah charcoal. Majority of our customers turn into regulars and eventually friends because we pride ourselves on our product and service. If it does not meet your standards or doesn't work, we fix it. If you still have a problem with it, we replace it. It's just that simple. We want you to enjoy yourself and expect you to leave happy. If you want the best hookah experience, you come to Lux, located at 37939 Vine Street, Willowby. We invite you to come experience the flavor and see what you've been missing. We hope to see you soon.
Did you know Lake Effect Radio has an app? Now you can listen to us while you're in your car or at work. You can travel between our live studio and Lakeland Sports Channel all in one place. With just a click of a button, you can contact us by text or phone and check out our Facebook page. We also have a live guide to local artists and bands, letting you see who's playing in the area. Choose a station based on the artist and program you love. Give us a listen. Download it for free on your Android smartphone today.
At the Holden University Center of Lakeland Community College, you can earn a bachelor's or graduate degree from our university partners right here in Lake County. Lakeland's Holden University Center. Stay here, go far. Visit lakelandcc.edu/UC.
Are you interested in music, concerts, and talk shows, or hosting your own radio show? Lake Effect Radio is here for you. We're looking for more student members for our organization. You don't have to have experience in radio to join. Lake Effect Radio is a device organization that covers music, sports, politics, and more. Stop by Lake Effect office in S215 for more information or pick up an application outside the door.
Textbooks on reserve at Lakeland Library. Select textbooks are now available for students to check out and use in the library. Donations of current textbooks to the textbook on reserve. Programs are encouraged from instructors and students. If your textbook is not currently available in the library, please contact your instructor to provide a copy of their textbook for the Textbook on Reserve program. For more information on the library-initiated Textbook on Reserve program, please call 440-525-7424.
It's Mr. Fabulous, Jesse James Helsius from Mr. Fabulous and the Bad Boys, and you're listening to Lake Effect Radio. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and SoundCloud.
If you enjoyed card games, tabletop games, video games, or more, the Lakeland's Gamers Guild is here for you. They are also looking for more student members for our organization. The Gamers Guild is a diverse student organization that covers all parts of gaming. If you're interested, please come to our meetings. It's every Tuesday in S217. Or also stop past our office in 221 for more information.
Don't stress yourself out. Learn the number one way to find a job. At this free workshop, learn the best way to find a job and keep your career going. Friday, April 7th, from 10 a.m. to noon. Seating is limited. Registration is required. Register at careers.lakelandcc.edu.
Good morning again, everybody. Livestream.com/Lake Effect for Sec 4 Breakers. See, I have no idea what I'm doing hour. I don't know why I call it that, Kathy.
I'm not quite sure because you know exactly what you're doing. I have no doubt.
Kathy has more faith in me than I do.
I have a lot of faith in people. So, if you get two people who can talk and have no problem.
That's the way it rocks. That's the way it works. Rocks, whatever word you want to use. Sorry, I just got a message on something. Okay, all good. So, we were talking during the commercial break about e-cigarettes.
Yes.
And how they're just as harmful. Are they? Okay, first question I have. Are they just as harmful or are they more harmful than regular cigarettes? It's probably a hard thing to answer, but I want to know anyway.
At this point, the research is coming out that they are harmful in other ways.
Okay.
So we know with a tobacco product such as a cigarette, when you burn the leaves of a cigarette, you create tar. Well, in an e-cigarette, what I'd like to explain is there is some really good research, and it comes out of Change Labs out of California, and they've done immense research into e-cigarettes. And most e-cigarettes are run off of a battery. When the battery heats up, that's what's heating up your e-liquid or your liquid nicotine, whatever it may be. And there's different varying degrees. Now, one of the other things I do like to mention is the FDA just came out to regulate e-cigarettes because they were not regulated for almost 2 years. And what we were finding is that young kids were starting to use cigarettes, or the e-cigarettes, thought it was cool, but now we're seeing them become addicted to the nicotine. But going back to the e-cigarettes, when you heat up the e-liquid using a battery, not only are you inhaling water vapor, but you're actually inhaling the toxic hard metals, heavy metals from the battery, nickel, cadmium, zinc. So everything that is in a battery, you're actually putting into your system. So I tell people, I says, you know what, you'd be better off just be sucking on a AAA battery because you're getting the same effect. And I don't think most of us would put a battery in our mouth and suck on it. So people are uneducated in that essence of really knowing what an e-cigarette is. We also know that e-cigarettes, when you're inhaling the water vapor, you don't know if that's purified water or what is actually in it, because they talk about, essence and all these other components in an e-cigarette, in the e-liquid. Well, if you're inhaling water vapor that is not properly purified, you could be inhaling bacteria particles into your lungs. And the CDC did a very brief study that did show some incidents, higher incidents of pneumonia, bronchitis, and other bacterial infections in the lungs of people that were using e-cigarettes for extended period of time. And I do like to add that not only e-cigarettes, but hookahs as well, because it's very similar in nature of how hookahs work and inhaling that water vapor. So we strongly urge people that they say, well, I'm a smoker. I no longer smoke, but I smoke e-cigarettes. And I always tell them, I says, well, technically you are still a smoker because you are still smoking a tobacco product device. And I would like to strongly urge people that there are other cessation tools or quitting tools out there that if you are interested in quitting, seriously quitting, see your medical professional, go to a cessation specialist, get the actual proven tools to actually quit smoking. Some of us look and says, e-cigarettes have worked for me. Well, I've known a couple of people who have tried e-cigarettes and they went back to cigarettes, so they're actually doing dual use. And just to make a point, Mayo Clinic has done extensive research on the e-cigarettes, and they cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this can be used as a quit tool. So we strongly urge people, please, don't start using e-cigarettes.
So you were saying get the tools that actually work. As soon as you said that, my brain went to the nicotine patches I see on TV.
Correct.
Do those actually work?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
And what I strongly recommend is going to see your family doctor, because there's different dosage of the nicotine patches. So if you're a very heavy smoker, you're smoking 1-2 packs a day, you're going to need a little more nicotine in that patch to get you through. And they actually strongly urge, for cessation services, they strongly urge a combination of tools to be used. And also counseling is very important, is someone there to help you through. They also recommend using nicotine gum, but you use that a certain way, using the nicotine patch. There's also certain medications that you can use to help. And I am not going to get into that because I am not a cessation specialist.
Sure.
So I strongly urge people who are really interested in quitting, do it now, get a hold of your physician, and they can help you and get you on the right path to quitting.
So let's say that there's some people who want to talk to you.
Yes.
Personally about, I don't know, maybe they're a city representative tuning in today. They're somebody from Lake Erie's listening. Maybe somebody from Lakeland's listening. If they want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
They can contact me at the Lake County General Health District. Again, my name is Kathy Bevan. My phone number is 440-350-2442. Please don't send me any nasty messages. I understand that people, they feel like they have the right to smoke. What we're just doing is we want to get out the information just to protect those who are non-smokers.
And I'm sure you guys want to work together with everybody, not just non-smokers. You want to work together with everybody that you can.
Correct. And that's an excellent point, because what I do is when I go in to do education, I want the smokers, I want the non-smokers, I want the former smokers. Sometimes those former smokers have so much input on how we can change behaviors in our community. So when I'm working with the public housing agencies, I'm going to be working with the residents, getting their input, especially from the smokers. What can we do to help you make this new smoke-free HUD ruling transition easier for you? Because we don't want to leave smokers high and dry. We do want to help them. And that's one of the efforts that we get into, is that we want to assist them. We want them to quit, obviously. And we want their input on how to make policy change so that we protect our non-smokers, but also get them to quit, to get into a healthier behavior.
Well, we do appreciate you coming in today.
Well, I do appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me the time to
no
speak.
problem.
And I'm sure this might bring up some more questions, more conversation, which I hope it does. And, I would really love to see Lakeland Community College. I am a past student. I did get an associate's degree from here. So I've been an integral part of this community for many, many, many years. And I still have friends of mine whose kids go here for school. And I'd really like to see Lakeland Community College become a 100% smoke-free environment, so that when we move these kids onto other colleges such as Kent State, Cleveland State, The Ohio State, or move them into businesses, that they are prepared for the real world. Because in the real world's changing right now. And a lot of companies and a lot of colleges do not permit smoking. So let's prepare these kids for the future.
All right, well, thank you again for coming in. And tune in at noon for Cleveland Gary Lee, who's currently downstairs right now, but he'll be wrapping up shortly. Till we meet again, everybody.